Hello everybody, it's Jay Roby. I wanted to share a pawn breakthrough technique that I've learned recently, and I'm going to be exploring some pawn breakthrough techniques in the future, but this one focuses on 3 pawns versus 3 pawns. And in this position it's black to move, and black has found a way to basically equalize the material. But even so, white has a pawn breakthrough technique that's going to guarantee a win. So what black is hoping on doing here by capturing and putting the white king into check is equalizing the material. And if white's not familiar with this breakthrough technique, white might move the king to f3, and then that'll just let black march its king up to support its pawns. Or alternatively, what I've seen a lot in my personal online play, in positions where you have 3 pawns on 3 pawns, sometimes you'll see something like this take place, where it's just basically a lot of capturing, and then basically the outcome of the game relies heavily on the play of the kings from each player. And in this position, really, it's going to be a draw or stalemate if it's played correctly. So that's what black is hoping to do. Now, white, however, has a pawn breakthrough technique that it can use. So let's go back to the beginning. So let's clear this material off the board. And the pawn breakthrough technique here from white is to push up the center pawn. So it pushes the G pawn up to G6. Now black has to capture, because if black doesn't capture, white has 2 options here to promote. It can capture on the H or the F, and it's going to be able to promote the move following. So black has to take in this position. Now the key to the technique here for white is that it needs to look at what side black captures from. So in this position here, black captured from H to G6. Now the technique is simply for white to push the pawn up opposite of the capture. So in this example, it would be pushing the pawn up to F6. And you'll see here that it doesn't matter what black does, white is going to get a pass pawn. So for example, if black captures here on F6, white simply moves the H pawn up, and it's going to be able to promote in a couple moves. Alternatively, if black captures here, white simply just takes on G7, and it's going to promote the next move. So that's the breakthrough technique, and it'll work pretty much at any time. And basically, it's going to allow white to get the queen, and from this position here, it's just simply lost for black, as white can clear off all the pawns and come in and deliver checkmate. Now, it is important to note, however, that in this position, this breakthrough technique only works when the enemy pawns are on the 6th or 7th rank. Or alternatively, if you're playing against white, white's pawns would have to be on the 2nd or 3rd rank to make this strategy work. So let's take an example of why that's the case. So in this position, it's white to move still. Now, white's breakthrough technique to get a passed pawn still works. However, you'll notice here that there's no way that white's going to be able to promote before black. The pawns are too far away, and black's just going to be able to come in and basically deliver a similar checkmate by getting that king into the corner, and then from here it's game over. So it's an interesting technique, and I'm glad I came across it. And there are some other ones that I'm going to be looking at, and that deals with different amounts of pawns per side. And I know that some of probably my experienced subscribers already know of this technique. But for those that don't, I'm sure you'll find it quite useful. And once you learn it, it's very simple. So in summary, you just capture on the after the capture takes place, you push up the pawn on the opposite side of the capture, and you're going to be guaranteed promotion. And from there, it's going to be game over. So take care. Hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see you next time.